do so. However, if you want to be able to build C# applications in the future to be able to deploy for whatever reason, you can install Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code with the .NET Core SDK, which stands for Software Development Kit. Here is the first homework assignment. So as you see, the code here has already been here. I haven't typed this code out. When you go to the Program IZ website and pull up the compiler, it gives you this code by default. So let's walk through this and we'll talk more about the homework in a second. So line 4 here, it says using system. What does that mean? Well, when you write code, you write them in what we call libraries. For those people that are familiar with Java, they call them packages. Conceptually, though, they are the same thing. They are pre-built pieces of code that are bundled together for you to be able to use in your application. This particular application, by default, is using the system library. Now, there are other libraries that can be used and can be imported. Those are typically done through NuGet packages, and we'll talk about that later. But you can go to NuGet.org and look more into the NuGet packages and how that particular system works. The next line here on line 6 is public class hello world. Now, public is the modifier or access level for this particular class. There are other access modifiers, public, protected, internal, and private, that can also be used. Now, we'll get into the explanations of which each of those do at a later point in time. However, majority of the times when you're going to start an application, this is going to be public by default. Class is the grouping of the code and or objects that you're using. C# is an object-oriented language, which means everything is typically grouped together in classes or some other type of structure. Class is the most common type of structure, and you will see class in C#, you'll see class in C++, as well as Java. Some PHP applications do have classes, but traditionally PHP has not always had classes, so you may see that and you may not. Next, we will come over to Hello World. So this is the name of this class, and the name of this class can be whatever you want to. Now, normally when you're building an application in C#, if you're using the Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code, this will by default start out as program instead of Hello World.